Have experienced something different than what she did. But it will take a massive effort for the Warriors. Third set underway, and there's no doubt the Warriors have to get off to a quick start. They set up the double block, and that one is wide. There's a beginning for Lewisburg.
And the start that I'm sure all of them were hoping for to try to get on some type of run here.
Well, here's Kaylee Saunders. Last time we saw her, she was diving into a media table. Let's see if that effort kind of galvanizes her team. That one may have been going long. Saunders on the chase again. Tries to save. Oh, and now she's in the bleachers.
What a hustle. I don't know that I have seen hustle like that from a player in all of the championships today. Just going after everything.
Just tremendous. Saunders, a junior.
As coach is talking about playing for your team and playing together, I think that's what she's referencing.
1-1. We're seeing a captain in the making for this Lewisburg team next year, no question about it. Davidson takes a 2-1 lead. Kate Hoffman will serve for Davidson. And that set a little bit too far. Hartsfield had to judge. Do I get it early or try to get it late? She elected to try and play the carom off of the net. To no avail.
If there's ever doubt, I think my suggestion is always try to beat the ball. Get the ball before it ever gets there.
Hoffman served to the bottom of the net. 3-2 Davidson. Early stages, set 3. Whitney Bolton is back on the floor for the Warriors. Near side of the front line. Labadorf the set. And that one is smacked your way, Adrian, off the deflection. 4-2, Davidson leads early. And it's interesting how the Spartans seem to now be utilizing Labrador. She was the finisher in the first set and a half. Now she's almost become a second setter.
And started out a little bit quiet, but really stepping up here.
Hartsfield, now it's a little bit too far ahead and easily handled by DiCristofaro and Erskine. 5-2 Davidson.
Erskine really getting excited with that celebration there and can't help but continue to reference. She's the student in the class that doesn't really speak. You would never know it from the way she plays on the volleyball court.
Hartsfield, the second touch. Tipped on Bolton's approach. Long cross-court set. Saunders is there. Hartsfield to the middle. Bolton. That's out. 6-2 Davidson. Hoffman the serve down the middle. Saunders has to clear it over and does. Set again by Labadorf. That clipped it. And Saunders again. A great dig with the outstretched right arm. Comes across again. There's a tip. Hartsfield to the near side. Pushed across by Foster. DiCristofaro. Oh, down in the knee. Save and pushed across. This time it's Sarah Foster on the front end and back end. And one more deflection. Well, the effort is there for the Warriors on the defensive side. Saunders and Foster, tremendous plays to keep the point living for another hit.
And you have to hope, even if they weren't able to score that point, are those ups enough to still get them excited?
7-2. Third touch across, and that was much too ambitious by Mackenzie Wood. Davidson trying to recover a 5-point deficit on one swing. And a timeout taken by Erica Womack. You can sense this one slipping away. They needed a quick start in the third set. They've shown great effort, but the results are not there. It's 8-2 Davidson.
You see lots of smiles, lots of laughs in that Davidson huddle. They seem relaxed. They seem confident and comfortable. You have to wonder, is Lewisburg going to be able to turn things around? Because this is where you truly have to step in and start scoring big points for your team before Davidson continues to get any closer to 25.
And one more time, heavy coaching by Erica Womack in that huddle for Lewisburg. Haley Marshall, a senior. Amber Newton, we haven't seen her in this match. A senior, Sarah Foster, who's been out there almost the whole match. Hannah Nobles, Mackenzie Wood, Summer Phillips. Those are the 6 seniors who will try to rally this Lewisburg team. Meanwhile, Davidson, I mean, they're just out there like on an ice skating rink the day before Christmas. I mean, they are just having a blast, great success. everybody contributing in a wide array of roles.
And I've said to a lot of the players that I've coached before, when you're having fun, when you're having a good time, that's when I've seen a lot of players play their absolute best volleyball. They are relaxed, and they're just having a good time, playing the game they love.
8-2 Spartans lead. One set away from the 1A championship. Jumped across. Big dig by the Spartans, and there's the big hit. And knocked down. That's Liza Mitchell.
What an effort on that up, and then just a great set.
9-2 Davidson. There's the finish, but that point was set up by a tremendous dig by the Spartans a couple of balls earlier. 9-2, and Saunders wasn't ready for it. She took a quick peek to her right at her teammate, and she thought that Summer Phillips was going to intercept that serve. Saunders in the middle is really the captain, though. That's her ball to get if she can. 10-2 Davidson. And this one continues to unravel for Lewisburg. And that one's long.
You could see a little bit more communication there on who was doing what with that ball, and both were really there together.
Taylor Ferguson, sophomore, is in for the Warriors. Adrian Sullivan, a junior, also checks in. 10-3 Davidson, and it will be Taylor Ferguson subbed in simply to serve right here. You can't build a house without a foundation, so maybe that last point is that foundation for the Warriors. Ferguson, good serve, and it will lead to a point back-to-back for the Warriors, 10-4.
And really, the scoreboard has been quite a deficit for Lewisburg from the start, but really taking away that scoreboard and just working on 1 point at the time is what they've really got to fight for.
Saunders digs it. Hartsfield plays it for Sullivan. Got a touch. Labadorf, the high set. Beautiful dig by Marshall in the back. Hartsfield right near the net and clear the cross. A great teamwork here by Lewisburg. And there's a block back down. They try to set things up into the donut, and down it goes. Point to the Spartans. And once again, Adrian, the effort we're seeing is there from the Warriors.
Absolutely. And that truly is an accomplishment in itself, to still have that hustle, still going after those balls. They're not quitting. They are not giving up on this game yet.
11-4 Davidson. Grace Kwiatkowski, one of the outgoing seniors for the Spartans, serves it. Saunders and Marshall connect shoulders on that service return. Big swing and then a land. Point for Whitney Bolton and the Warriors. I know they're down 6, but they're looking much more composed than they were toward the end of that second set.
Especially being able to run more of an offensive game rather than just having to play defense against what Davidson's giving to them.
Quick set. Handled in the back row by Ferguson. Sullivan goes cross court, blocked.
And a good judgment there. You could tell she was trying to follow it all the way. She knew where she was on the court, trying to let that one go and make it an easy point for them.
Megan Shea back on the court for Davidson. She will serve. Leading 12-5. Down the line. Hartsfield for Bolton. Had a wrong-footed attempt by Bolton. Kendall Owens sends it over. Hartsfield in position to the middle. Bolton blocked out. And there's Erskine one more time, number 23.
Just an incredible force there in the middle. Almost every time she goes up, just getting great hands on every single block.
Boy, do you think she's kicking herself for only picking up volleyball a couple of years ago? There's a big knockdown by Adrian Sullivan.
And a big point that Lewisburg needed there.
I imagine it's the opposite, though, for Erskine. I just found a game that I love, that I'm truly good at, and that there's such a long way for me to go, a lot more to learn, and boy, she has opened a lot of eyes. Ace for Lewisburg, 13-7.
You see Hartsfield saying to her teammates, 1 point, and I think she's focusing on the same thing, not the deficit, but just chipping away one at the time.
That truly is the only hope for the Warriors. Down 2 sets to love, trailing 13-7 in the third. But they need to be so crisp the rest of the way. Saunders keeps it alive to the middle. There's a touch. That's going to land. And energy returning to the Warriors thanks to Summer Phillips.
Quite possibly the most energy I've seen after that play since those first 5 points, that run they went on to start the very first set.
Yeah, even as they were losing solidly those last couple of sets toward the end, they had to manufacture energy, almost fake energy, to try and convince themselves that they can come back. Now we're seeing some legitimate positive energy from the Warriors despite that service error. 14-8 Davidson. Emma Corrant taps the ball a couple of times, sends it across, tips to the tape.
Oh, what an out.
Ready for it though was Hartsfield. She saw that coming. And now they reorganize defensively. Off the back, sent forward by Ferguson. Set Hartsfield the approach, and that one is on the line from Sullivan.
You have to wonder, where has this offense been? We haven't really gotten to see swings like that for the first couple sets.
14-9.
But really starting to see an offense from Lewisburg start to come alive and try to match what Davidson is giving to them.
Now, as a head coach, Molly Gwaltney knows where she is. 2 sets up, +5 in the third. I think another maybe 2-point run by Lewisburg. I may call a timeout despite a lead, just to slow things down. And boy, what a boost that would be for the Warriors if they can get the Spartans to do that. As that one is dumped in, and Davidson reclaims a 6-point lead.
And a smart play there, just trying to score points, not having to do it with the most power, but really having good judgment on ball placement.
Killed to Labrador, now she retreats to serve, up 6. Hartsfield plays it to the wide side, to the left hand, and there was no tip off of that attempt by Foster. Slowly walking toward the championship line are Molly Gwaltney Spartans. 16-9. Marshall the set. Saunders the free ball across. Labrador the set. Cross court. Tapped over. Saunders onto a knee to dig.